Imagine a world shaped by rhythm, poetry, and raw emotion, and at the center of it all stands Tupac Shakur, a legend who reshaped hip-hop. But what if I told you that the story of his death is still marred by mystery nearly 3 decades later? As we delve into the notorious murder case that remains unsolved, shocking new developments are emerging that might just turn the tide. Could justice finally be within reach? Stick around as we uncover the layers of speculation and uncover the latest revelations in the quest for the truth behind Tupac's tragic fate. The wait for justice. For years, Tupac's murder case seemed like an unsolvable puzzle, filled with rumors, dead ends, and conspiracy theories. Many speculated on the influences behind the scenes, while others pointed fingers at various suspects, perpetuating a cycle of misinformation. However, recent developments have reignited hope among fans and those dedicated to uncovering the truth. In a significant move, the Las Vegas police have finally taken action, executing a search warrant on a home tied to the infamous case. This home is believed to hold crucial evidence, perhaps even details that could crack the case wide open. Authorities sound confident, with statements suggesting they have gathered enough information to act decisively. And it doesn't stop there. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police have been collaborating with local and federal agencies, pooling resources to tackle the long-standing inquiry. Their commitment speaks volumes, revealing a determination to finally do right by Tupac and his family. As whispers about new evidence circulate, the question arises, how much closer are we to justice for one of hip-hop's brightest stars? What happens next in this unfolding story could change everything we thought we knew about Tupac's tragic end. Are we truly on the brink of answers that have eluded us for decades? Keep watching, because the journey for justice may be far from over, but it's clearer now than ever that the investigation is heating up. The arrest. The dramatic turn in this long-standing case came when authorities turned their gaze toward Duane Keefe Davis, known as KeeFD. Recently, police executed a search warrant at a property linked to him, igniting speculation that justice might be on the brink. But let's unpack this revelation. Though Davis stands accused of being involved in the conspiracy, he hasn't been directly tagged as the shooter. Is he merely the man behind the curtain, orchestrating events from the shadows? Davis isn't just any name. He has connections that run deep in the hip-hop world, and his relationship with Tupac's 1996 tragedy paints a complex portrait. He was allegedly present at the scene the night Tupac was gunned down and has been speculated to know intricate details of what transpired. Could he be ready to come clean after all these years? In a world where mob rules often kept information locked tight, this arrest raises even more questions about who else might be involved. Friends, foes, or even old allies. Each revelation seems to unlock new layers in the case, suggesting that the truth might be even more convoluted than we thought. But as the investigation unfolds, one fact remains. There are still many pieces left to fit back into this intricate puzzle of loyalty, betrayal, and unresolved grief that leaves fans yearning for answers decades later. With each passing day, the stakes continue to rise, and what happened next could reshape the narrative entirely. A night to remember. On September 7, 1996, the iconic Las Vegas Strip buzzed with excitement. A championship boxing match was about to take place featuring Mike Tyson, and it would draw celebrities and fans from every corner. Among the throng was Tupac Shakur, a man larger than life, known not only for his music but also for his fiery persona. What was meant to be a night of celebration quickly spiraled into chaos. Tupac was seen arriving with Death Row Records CEO Suge Knight, and their presence alone was enough to stir whispers amongst the attendees. But before they even stepped into the arena, a confrontation erupted outside a hotel. Tupac, known for being vocal and unapologetic, found himself in a heated dispute with a known rival. The tension moment stood as a foreshadowing of the violence that would unfold just hours later. After the fight, Tupac and Suge Knight hopped into a black BMW with the engines revving and adrenaline pumping. The atmosphere was electric, a celebration after a victorious evening. But as they cruised down the strip, tragedy lurked in the shadows. A white Cadillac pulled up beside them, and the reality of their fate became horrifyingly clear. With blaring gunfire cutting through the jubilant night air, the world seemed to slow. Tupac was struck multiple times, and chaos ensued. Security guard reports and initial police statements detail the disbelief of onlookers. Suddenly, the line between entertainment and danger blurred. The story turned from a night of glory to a narrative drenched in blood and heartbreak. As the echoes of gunshots faded, Tupac's life hung in the balance. The aftermath left those who knew him shattered and searching for answers. Who fired the shots? Was it the culmination of a long-standing feud? And most importantly, what does it mean for the future of hip-hop? Tupac's tragic and untimely demise is a stark reminder of the challenges artists face, caught between fame and the struggles of their environments. His last night, once expected to be monumental, will forever be remembered as the night that changed everything. Little did they know, the fallout from this moment would ripple through history and ignite conversations for decades. So, as we recall this night, we can only wonder, could the sparks of violence someday lead to the discovery of truth and justice? What lessons can be learned from this tragic event that forever altered the landscape of music and society? The fallout. The fallout from Tupac's death was immediate and profound, sending shockwaves through the hip-hop community and beyond. Just days after the shooting, the news of Tupac's passing reverberated across radio stations and music venues, leaving fans and fellow artists grappling with the reality that they had lost one of the genre's brightest stars. Amid the grief and shock, the landscape of hip-hop was forever altered. As anger began to swell among Tupac's supporters, the East Coast-West Coast rivalry reached an explosive peak. The public mourned the loss, but within the industry, whispers of revenge and retribution were circulating. Many speculated that Tupac's murder was part of a larger narrative of violence that was suffocating the genre. This tragic event didn't just affect his close circle, it ignited tension and fear among artists, who questioned their own safety and the future of their craft. In the months that followed, the void left by Tupac's death was palpable. The music scene saw an increase in posthumous releases, each aiming to capture the essence of the man and his message. But with his absence, issues that Tupac passionately spoke about began to come into sharper focus. Ripped from the spotlight, discussions around systemic racism, poverty, and violence became even more critical, as fans and artists alike sought to preserve his legacy through activism and storytelling. Yet, the fallout didn't end there. In 1997, just 6 months after Tupac's passing, the murder of his rival, Notorious B.I.G., further escalated the tension and paranoia within the hip-hop community. The narrative of East versus West continued to cloud the industry, as leaders debated the ongoing conflict and how it reflected the struggles faced by African American artists. As conversations about Tupac progressed, new theories emerged regarding who was truly responsible for his untimely death. Was it a retaliatory act driven by rivalry? Or was there something more sinister at play, hiding within the shadows of a glamorous yet perilous lifestyle? These questions linger, fueling speculation and conspiracy theories that still captivate fans and podcasters alike. While Tupac Shakur's untimely death brought tragedy, it also ignited a fire in many artists to carry his torch. His lyrics became a rallying cry for social change, and discussions on violence within the hip-hop community took center stage. The legacy of Tupac continues to challenge and inspire those willing to listen and learn about the life he led, reminding everyone that while he may have left this world, his influence remains ever-present, urging both artists and fans to confront the difficult truths he was never afraid to speak about. But what continues to surprise many is not just the impact of his music, but how the pursuit of justice for Tupac's murder has resurfaced in modern times. As new evidence emerges, the quest for truth not only seeks to offer closure but continues to spark conversations on the importance of legacy and accountability within an ever-evolving industry. In looking back, we realize that Tupac's story isn't just about loss, it's about the revolution he ignited in both hip-hop and society at large, a flame that still burns brightly today. The investigation as the years went by, the mystery surrounding Tupac's murder deepened. Just weeks after the tragic event, investigators faced their first significant challenge: a blank slate of evidence and a community steeped in silence. Many witnesses, fearful of the repercussions, adhered to an unspoken code, refusing to come forward. This silence served as a barrier, complicating the investigation right from the start. Detectives followed leads and pieced together fragments from the fateful night, relying on eyewitness accounts and surveillance footage. However, the road was fraught with dead ends. Some speculated that police didn't push hard enough for answers, while others believed an internal framework facilitated the cover-up. In 2017, filmmakers and amateur sleuths reignited the investigation with documentaries and podcasts, urging fans to re-examine the timeline of events. Some uncovered shocking testimonies from people who claimed they had crucial pieces of information, leading to renewed interest and pressure on law enforcement. Even the FBI had started looking into the case. New developments surfaced suggesting that gang affiliations may have played a significant role, raising questions about whether Tupac was a victim of a feud that extended far beyond personal animosities. The investigation took a surprising turn with the recent raid on a home linked to Duane Keefe Davis, the alleged shot caller. Authorities are digging deeper than ever, driven by a commitment to finally bring closure to a case that has haunted the music industry for over 2 decades. But here's the twist: reports emerged suggesting there may be new witnesses coming forward, emboldened by the renewed pursuit of justice. Could this new wave of honesty lead to revelations that finally expose the truth behind Tupac's murder? The rivalry. The story of Tupac Shakur cannot be told without delving deep into the infamous rivalry between East and West Coast hip-hop artists. This clash defined an era and ignited countless debates among fans. At the heart of it was Tupac himself, a fiery figure who was unapologetic about his beliefs and never shied away from confrontation. Following his rise to stardom, he became embroiled in a very public feud, particularly with the notorious B.I.G., whose influence as the leading voice of East Coast hip-hop challenged the West Coast's pop culture dominance. The animosity reached fever pitch when Tupac, fresh off his release from prison, made inflammatory remarks about Biggie and the Bad Boy Records team. Some believe these exchanges were merely a way to amplify record sales, but the tension quickly escalated. As emotions ran high, the rivalry spilled into real-life clashes, with both camps engaging in a war of words that drew the entire hip-hop community into its chaotic fold. What made this rivalry even more pronounced was the media's role in fanning the flames. Headlines touted the feud as a classic East Coast versus West Coast battle, with journalists speculating further conflicts and wanting to pit artists against each other for sensationalism. This fueled rumors and painted both Tupac and Biggie as adversaries rather than peers. Surprisingly, despite the public displays of animosity, there were moments of camaraderie that hinted at a complex relationship between the two, a friendship overshadowed by the violent narratives digesting the media. Rumors and mistrust grew rampant, especially when Tupac claimed that he had been betrayed by associates close to him, leading many to speculate about who was truly aligned with whom. This heightened paranoia left Tupac feeling vulnerable, leading him to take drastic measures. The complexities of this rivalry weren't just about music, it was a reflection of loyalty, betrayal, and the underlying challenges of fame. As Tupac's life spiraled amidst the rivalry, fans were left wondering, was this feud merely a part of the industry, or was it a deadly game with real consequences? Both Tupac and Biggie ultimately paid the price of this conflict, but the question remains, could things have ended differently? The cycle of violence in their rivalry serves as a chilling reminder of how personal vendettas can escalate into heartbreaking tragedies. Legacy and conclusion. Tupac Shakur's influence transcends generations. His poignant lyrics and powerful messages about social injustice, love, and resilience continue to resonate with fans around the world. As we dive deeper into the circumstances surrounding his untimely death, it's impossible to overlook the impact he's had on music, culture, and activism. Despite the chaos of his life and the controversies that clouded it, Tupac's artistry has left an indelible mark. artists today still draw inspiration from his work, utilizing his themes of struggle and empowerment in their own music. But his murder remains a haunting reminder of the cost of fame and rivalry, particularly in the world of hip-hop. Recent developments in the investigation bring hope for closure. Many fans are eager for answers, not just for justice, but to pay tribute to the artistry and passion he embodied. As news breaks and the mystery of his murder inches closer to resolution, we're left to ponder, will the truth finally give peace to Tupac's restless spirit, and what will it mean for his legacy moving forward? Ultimately, Tupac remains a symbol of resilience and influence, a voice that has refused to be silenced. As we reflect on his life and the events that unfolded, one thing is clear: his legacy will live on, inspiring new generations while fueling ongoing conversations about justice, inequality, and artistic expression.